Hi everyone, it's Stephen Follows Instructions again. I may be old, but my voice is clearer than Joe Biden's. Just kidding. Uh, Alright, today we're going to look at Learning Analytics Methods and Tutorials, the open access textbook that I'm referencing in my newsletter today. And what I'm going to do, I've put the link to the book in the description. I'm going to go to the Intro to R section. And what we have here, you scroll down a little bit, there's a little bit about what R is. And here, whoops, not there. Here we have in some instructions, first install R and then RStudio Desktop for your operating system. Now my operating system is Windows 11 to be specific. I know I should be using Linux, or if I was a cool kid, I'd be using Mac, but I like Windows for a variety of reasons. And I'm really comfortable with the environment, even though, as we've seen so often in these videos, that create some quirks that prevent some of the stuff from working. Hence, the spectacular failures we've had in the Stephen Follows Instructions series. I expect better this time because I really like what I've seen from this textbook so far, having read up to this point. So let's follow the instructions and let's see what happens. So I'm going to go with install R. I do not have R on my system. I've never installed R on my system. It's kind of a gap in my knowledge, right? Because I've known about R all along. So this is actually pretty cool stuff for me, and I might do more stuff out of this book in the future, especially if there's a demand for it. All right, let's install R without any further ado. I'll click on that. The R project for statistical computing. Okay, so we get news. Okay, getting started. R is a free software environment for statistical computing and graphics. It compiles and runs on a wide variety of Unix platforms, Windows, and Mac OS. To download R, please choose your preferred CRAN mirror. I have no idea what my preferred CRAN mirror is, but let's go to the download R. Well, let's pick Canada. And maybe something close to me. Oh, that's Manitoba. Looks like, and Raphael. That's funny. Simon Fraser University, Manitoba Unix User Group, University of Waterloo, and Raphael Zanowski. The R is silent. I know that because I follow baseball. Let's go with Raphael's because why not? I always cheer for the individual. Okay, so download and install R, and there's the source code. I'm not going to need the source code, although it's kind of cool to know that I could download and compile the source code if I wanted to, but R is part of many Linux distributions, so you might not even need to download it if you're using one of those. Pretty sure it's not part of my Windows, so I'll go with download R for Windows. Okay. Binaries for base distribution. This is what you want to install R for the first time. Okay. Please do not submit binaries to CRAN. Okay, I won't. CRAN, Comprehensive R something network. Similar to CPAN. Oh, Comprehensive R Archive Network. I'll bet you that's what it is. Let's look it up. Yep, Comprehensive R Archive Network. Alright, so let's click here. So now we're 3-4 clicks in. Alright. Download R 441 for Windows. I assume this is the latest version. Does R run under my version of Windows? Probably. Okay, so let's download it. Okay. Now, generally it's just an installer, right? So other people may read the README. I've been installing software on Windows since I was this high. I'm just going to click on it and we'll see what happens. Okay. Yes. We want it to make change. English, what are the other languages? Pretty much everything, right? But not Estonian. The Estonians get left off of everything. Okay. It's the GPU license. Okay, I don't want it in C. I want it in E. So I'm gonna, and the reason for that, I've got a bit of a different setup here. The way the computer came, it had, when I bought the computer, it had a small C drive as a solid state drive, and then a larger ordinary drive called D. And then I bought and installed another big solid state drive, which is my E drive, which is what I use most of the time. So I'm going to change the directory from C to E. Everything else will stay exactly the same. I'll just click on this. Alright, so there's E program files C, I'll put it right in there. Okay, so next. These installation main files, message translation. Probably don't need the translations, but yeah, it's a big disk. We'll accept the defaults. We'll create R as a shortcut. It's kind of badly named, but oh well. Create a desktop shortcut, why not? Say version number registry, sure. Associate R with R data files, sure. Generally with the Windows installed, and again, this is why I like Windows, you can just go with all the defaults. Except, you know, if you know what you're doing, right? I knew what I was doing, changing it from C to E, because I don't want to fill up my C drive. That really slows down my computer as well, so I'd like to leave it as open as possible. Alright, and finish. So, see if it created a desktop shortcut. I don't see it. So there's R, recently installed. And let's just pin it to the start menu. I use a little program called Start 11, which replaces the typical Windows 11 start menu, which I hate with this, the Windows 10 startup menu, which is much better. Okay. I don't know why it didn't create a shortcut though. It did say it. Well, there it is. It just took a while. Took a while for me to recognize it, probably. All right. Okay, back to what we're doing here. Like my frog photo. All right. I should probably change that to something from Ireland, but I'll do that later, not during the video, because you're not here to watch me change my desktop photo. All right. Let's open up this. Let's see, README on the Windows binary distribution. Oh yeah, okay, so I can also run it from the command line in the terminal. Although users will probably want to set up a simple BAT, like CMD file to run batch jobs. Okay, I'm not going to need any of that for now. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so R is installed. I wonder what happens if I try to open it. Get the R console. R version 441, etc. And say workspace, I might as well. So workspace, use packages, Windows. Okay, cool. Let's minimize that. All right, so that worked fine. This is about what I expected with a Windows install. So I'm backing all the way back to the course now. So now the RStudio desktop. So RStudio desktop is an integrated development environment, IDE, a set of tools to help you be more productive with R and Python. Now, we haven't heard anything about installing Python yet, have we? Install RStudio. I don't know. I might actually have Python installed already. I know I've worked with it in the past. How do I tell if I have Python? Okay, open a command line, type Python. That's kind of what I thought, but alright. Open a command line, that'll be Windows PowerShell, Python. That must be Python? Yeah, that's Python. Okay, so I have Python 3.12 already installed. I don't know if that's the current version or not. I haven't used it for a while. I don't know if that'll interfere with or help my installation of RStudio. We'll find out. Okay, so I've installed R. Download and install R. Right, it takes us right back to that page. And now download RStudio Desktop for Windows. Oh, it's interesting. It seems to be only for Windows. Oh no, here we go. There's the other operating systems. But I guess serious learning analytics people use Windows. Alright, so I've done the same thing. I'll click on it. And wait. Yes, we want it to make a change to my directory. RStudio setup. Again, we're probably going to want to change where it's going to run. RStudio install. Okay, this is a bit more involved. Presumably, it will determine for itself whether Python is installed. You might be wondering about Python. Python is a programming language, kind of like R, kind of like C or Perl or PHP. I don't like it because it doesn't have punctuation, and that bothers me. I think using line feeds and spaces as punctuation is a bad idea. But it's widely used in the analytics community. It's the analytics language of choice. So, okay, finish RStudio setup. So, again, there's RStudio, and I'm just going to again pin it to the start menu. I'll just put it right beside R here. Doesn't really belong in cloud, but I don't have a section for analytics, so alright. Okay, I just don't see a desktop shortcut, but whatever. I never use them anyways, to be honest. I always use my start menu. Okay. All installers and tarballs. Okay, so I am done. So that's the totality of installing R on Windows. Let's start up RStudio and make sure it works. Okay, so let's fire it up. Okay, RStudio requires an existing installation of R, default 64-bit version, and rendering engine auto detect. Yeah, okay, so we'll just go with the defaults here. Everything is 64-bit these days. If you're using 32-bit, okay. Enable automated crash reporting. May we upload crash reports to RStudio? Yes, the company automatically. Yeah, you're giving me the software for free. I'm going to do crash reports, of course. Why not? Let me help you. Give me software for free. Yeah. All right. So what do we got? We got a console. So object Python not found. Okay, so it's not that kind of console. We got terminal. We're going to allow. Okay, this looks more like my. Oh, it's in G. Whatever. Permission denied. Okay. Could be an issue. Background jobs. Well, I don't know. Wasn't. Environment history, connections. Oh, history. Tutorial. Version 1.6.0 of the Shiny package, whatever that is required to run tutorials for RStudio. Please click here to update the Shiny package. Installing Shiny. Whee! Okay. Now all these MD5 sums, that's all checking for the integrity of the downloaded software. Okay. The learner package is required. Okay. We'll install the learner package. Clearly, RStudio requires packages. So, alright. Okay. Data basics, start tutorial, filter observations. So, start the tutorial. Starting a tutorial requires an updated, oh, this is getting annoying, version of the RStudio API package. Let's install this package. The following tutorial package dependencies are missing and will be installed. Okay. I mean, it's working. I mean, there's extra steps here, but it's all working. So I'm not too concerned about it. So, you know, it's finding the downloads and it's downloading the downloads and expanding them. Lots of stuff here. Job has, oh, there we go. Right. Data basics, welcome. Okay, oh, it's actually listening on, it's actually started up a little server. That's how I know what that is. I'm kind of curious to see what this does. So I'm going to try opening it in my browser. This is not in the instructions, but I'm curious. Data basics, welcome. How about that? So it's running this tutorial as a little server on my computer, a little web server on my computer. Okay, well, let's go back. Okay, in this tutorial, is it the same? In this tutorial, you will learn. In this tutorial, you will learn. Yeah, it's exactly the same. All right. So we'll stay in here, but we'll keep in mind that if it gets hard to read, I can just do it on the big screen. Next topic. What is a data frame? I have no clue. A data frame is a rectangular collection of values, usually organized so that variables appear in the columns and observations appear in the rows. Okay. Here, for example, the miles per gallon data frame contains observations collected by the US EPA on 38 models of cars. To see the MPG data frame, type MPG in the code chunk below and then click Run Code. Okay. MPG Run Code. Alright. Let's see if this works here too. Oops. MPG Run Code. Yeah, and it's actually a lot easier to see here. So maybe I'll just continue in this screen. Continue. That's all the miles per gallon. You can tell it's American. Nobody else uses miles per gallon. Well, except maybe the British. A note about miles per gallon. The code above worked because I already loaded the ggplot2 package for you in this tutorial. Okay. If you would like to look at MPG on your own computer, you'll first need to load ggplot2. You can do that in 2 steps. Run install packages to install ggplot2 if you do not yet have it, or load it with the library ggplot2 command. Okay, let's come back to RStudio. It's going to say that here too, right? Just whoops, continue. Right. So, the library. Let's see. You want to install packages or no. Let's try. You see, it's not telling me how to run this. That's a bit of a problem. Control C. I'm just guessing I run it here. Oops. I had to right click paste that. Nope. Let's try the console. Learn more about the underlying theory. Okay, I guess it's telling me I already have it. Maybe? I don't know. Let's try this. Install packages. So I'm assuming it's the console. Control C to copy that. And Control V. Okay, it does work this time. Nope. One or more of the packages to be updated are currently loaded. Okay, that's never mind. Yeah, ggplot2 is in use and will not be installed. And that makes pretty good sense. Okay. Alright. So that could have been a lot clearer. Did you notice how much information was inside it? Yeah. Okay. Help pages. How to open the help page. You can learn more about MPG by opening its help pages. Alright, so question mark. Whoops. Clicking here to focus it. MPG. Run code. Okay. Oh, there's the. Okay. So this is just a description of all of the data in the MPG data set. Okay, that's pretty simple. Continue. You can open the help page for any object that comes with R. Just put the question mark in front. Oh, the objects created by you or your colleagues will not have a help page unless you make one. You mean they don't suddenly appear out of nowhere? Okay. Use the code chunk below to answer the following questions. There is no code chunk below. Oh, I can do that. Oh, well maybe... read the help for MBG to find out. Okay, well let's just check this. What does the DRV variable of MPG describe? Here it is, the type of drivetrain. So okay, none of these are really the right answer, but front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive. Okay. Wow. Am I just misreading this? Oh, the type of drivetrain. Front wheel drive. Oh yeah, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, or four wheel drive. Wow. This is just wrong. Yeah, okay. Oh, something else. Try again. Something else is the correct answer. Okay. This is a little nasty. How many rows are there in the data frame named cars? I don't know. Let's just go with 100 and see. Hint. R numbers the rows when it displays the contents. Okay. So let's look at cars in the code block above. Okay. MPG. Oops. Run code. 244 more rows. So that would be 324. Number of rows in cars. Oh, let's try cars. Must be a different data set. There we go. 50? Okay. Now, cars. Oh, alright. How many columns are there in the data frame named cars? Let's do this. Question mark cars. Although it looks like 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go back here. 3 and 3, 4. Oh, for goodness sake, 3 isn't here. 1, 2, 3. It's 3. It's 3. Dang it. Let's say 4. I did count the number of columns. Try again. 1. Oh, I see. This is just the number of the column number, so it's just 2, speed and distance. Alright. What is a Tibble? Tibbles are data frames with extra properties. Use a code chunk to print the contents of flights. Code. So this is, by the way, this is also the way Jupyter Notebooks works, where you can actually write the code right in here and then get the results right away. I really, really like this way of producing interactivity in the learning resource. Okay, so the Tibble, 336,000 more rows, 11 more variables. A Tibble. Okay, so it's telling, okay, so some extra properties. In 2013, documented in flights. Looks a bit different, shows only the first few. Okay, prints data differently because it's a Tibble. Tibbles are data frames that are slightly tweaked to be more user-friendly. That makes sense. It doesn't try to show you MPG as Tibble MPG. Alright. Which type of variable does flights contain? Looks like they're all integers and doubles. Integers and doubles. Oop. And this one. Integer, double. Oh, maybe down here, characters. Yep. Didn't see factors anywhere. Don't know what factors are. Excuse me, looking like sneezing live on air. Congratulations, you've met our basic table structures. Oh, I don't want the previous topic. Alright, so I'm done that. And I guess Alright, I get the idea. So, long story short, it works. This works. I can continue all the way through. Continue all the way through. Yeah. Continue with the Tibbles. Continue. Right. This continues. And we're done. Alright, so that's the end of that tutorial. Types tutorial. I assume there's more tutorials, right? Data basics. How do you back out of that? Oh, home. Alright, yeah, and here's more tutorials, right? Filter observations, create new variables, etc., etc. And on we go. Alright. Back to what? Back to the course. Let's go back to the course. So, it's going to tell me a bit about the editor, the console, the workspace, etc. Alright, and then a bit about R Markdown. So, well, yeah, this one jumps right into stuff in a hurry. So you'd probably have to, I'd probably recommend running the R tutorials the way I just did before continuing on in this course. Okay, so script. Let's see. See if I can run that code. Terminal. Oops. Paste. Nope. Console. Oh, it did work. Check that out. So let's make X different. Let's make it 18 just for fun. Now if I produce Z, still 8. I'll have to sum it again, I guess. Oops. X plus Y. Z 23. Okay, so now I've successfully run some R code. Okay, so and then R Markdown is a more comprehensive format called R Markdown. So here's an example document. It's an extension of Markdown, okay, which is used to create dynamic languages in various output formats such as HTML, PDF, Word. Create a new R Markdown in RStudio, go to File, New File, and then finally R Markdown. So File, New File, right, R Markdown. Default output format. Oh, okay, here's my R Markdown document. Just a sample here. Source, and then the visual. This will be what it looks like in HTML. You are activating R Markdown visual editing mode. This mode enables you to compose Markdown using a familiar word style processor interface. Use visual mode. So this is how to produce the sorts of documents that we just saw, right, in the tutorial. So here's the Markdown for producing it, and here it is. So this is our Markdown. So this stuff here is just information about the document. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so right, those 3 lines tell you to put it in the box, right? And then R setup. Okay, so there's a little R setup. Now some text. The 2 hashes indicate that this is a heading in Markdown, right? If I change this to 1 hash, I think it's just bold now if I do that. No? Oh, it's bigger. Okay. Let's put 3 here, and that'll probably make it really small. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Okay, and embed links. Oh, so there's the link. And Google Plots, etc., etc. I'll bet you I can access this from this server. Well, not this server. This server. If I could figure out where it's located. Let's find out if I can. Notice the way I'm doing this, right? I'm just trying stuff out. I'm following, but at any given point, I'm not just following instructions. I'm trying things out. I'm using my imagination. Really important. Okay, so I don't know where this is. File. Open file. Oh, it's just the standard. Outline. No, I don't know where this is saved, if anywhere. Knit on save. Don't know what that means. But this means save current document. There. Oh. No, that won't work. But I could save it. Library data sets, cars.html. That's somewhere on my computer. Our library. Documents. Nope. Library, nope. Library, nope. Don't know where it is. But I can ask. Let's ask the internet. Doesn't tell me. Maybe Chat GPT knows. Yeah, you never know. I do work with Chat GPT. Where does R store its files in Windows, e.g. Look in the program files, look in library. Alright, let's check that out. We'll find out if it's right. So, E program files, R441, library. Alright, and what was the rest of it now? Datasets, HTML cars. Datasets, HTML. Datasets, HTML cars. And yet I don't see it. I see an index. Huh. File not found. So it's not there. Under help? No. Data? No. Let's go back up to library. Tutorial. That should be library, datasets, cars. Huh. Isn't that weird? Library, datasets, should be right here, cars. Nope. Go back to Chat GPT. I'm referring to files that are served on the local server, e.g. Let's see if that helps it. Okay, it's running in a temporary directory. Oh, okay. Huh. path, which we can do down here, remember. And let's print that out. App data. Okay. Put it in C, that figures. Okay, C users, app data, local temp. Okay. C users, C app data, local temp. And then what was it? R temp, okay. So I think that's a directory. Yeah, here we go. R temp, there's already 3 of them. There's 1, no. There's 2, nothing. And the third one, RStudio tutorial. R, it's an R source file. Let's open it with RStudio. Okay, just once. Yes, I'll open it. Grab. Oh, that just launches the browser. Okay. So it's not straightforward. It's not simply running a file like I thought it would be. But one of these might be a file. RDS. Wow. I don't like the fact that it's using C here, my personal app data, instead of putting it in program directory in the on the disk that I've chosen. Let's open with whatever. Open this with RStudio. Load. All right. No, this didn't. Oh, there's the R markdown. Including, oh, that's just the outline. No, this is what it was before. So it didn't seem to have actually opened it. Alright, I don't know where it's located. I thought I did. I thought it would just be like a flat file somewhere, and this would be loading it just like a web server or a web browser loads a web page, but apparently not. So I don't know where these studios or tutorials are located and how they're set up. I would have liked to have learned that. Let's not save any of this. Alright, that's RStudio. Following job is still running. Xdata Basics tutorial. Terminate the job. Saving it. So that's it for this episode of Stephen Follows Instructions. That was pretty cool. Right? And we'll go back to the go back to the course, right? Intro to R, right? So we've installed it, looked at it, some best practices, R Markdown, an example document, how was code developed, basic operations. So this is the stuff that's standard for any programming language. Okay, we can actually see now we'd need to actually work through some of this stuff. So it's defining vectors, defining types of, creating our objects, working with data frames, tibbles, pipes. Native pipes. A pipe is when, I believe, is when you take the output of, you take the output of this and send it to this, and then you send it to this, and you send it to this. It's pipes. To send it from one thing. This is very similar to what you can do in Unix as well. The syntax is slightly different, but conditional statements, looping statement. So it is a programming language. All right. So this describes the programming language, and then you'd move into data cleaning, and on you go. So, but that's beyond the scope of this particular video. So, this is a case where when I followed instructions, I was successful in 99% of what I tried to do. When I went beyond the instructions, I wasn't always successful, but who cares? So, cool. I'll come back to this. I don't know if I'll come back to this in Stephen Follows Instructions, but I'm definitely going to continue with this textbook because this is good stuff. This is a really good textbook. I can tell already by having gone through the first two chapters. I've skimmed some of these other chapters, but working through these first two, this tells me that this book is the real deal. So, there you go. You want to learn learning analytics methods and tutorials using R? This is the book for you, I gotta say. Alright, that's it. Stephen Follows Instructions out for now. See you next time.